Hello, fabulous superstar Libra. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2025. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. And a limited number of consultations are available with me or with Andy of Wise Ass Astrology over the course of this summer. New dates have just been released of availability. You can learn a lot more and book your reading now. Links are below. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And this is big. It is Jupiter. Jupiter is changing signs. Yes, here we are. Once a year, or more accurately, once every 13 months or so, Jupiter changes signs, spends about 12 years going all the way around the zodiac. And so when Jupiter moves into a brand new part of the sky, well, we tend to notice it. It represents a big shift that we feel. Jupiter brings blessings. It brings more possibilities, more expansion, and more hopeful circumstances. However, this time around, there is a bit of a caveat, and that is, it might not seem so wonderful right away. And that is because of all the things that Jupiter is doing. And then Jupiter meets the sun, and that's supposed to be the luckiest day of the year. But then the sun and Jupiter together are doing, and they're also part of a new moon that's doing. And all of this adds up to a set of circumstances that might feel disappointing, uncertain, that might feel as if you're really trying to manifest something, to make something happen, and it isn't coming together. And you've got to find a way to be at peace with it, even if it's hard. And so for you, it is Jupiter that is going to be moving into the top of your sky, having to do with career, life purpose, social standing, and your understanding of a higher, more loving vision for your life. This is a part of the sky that has to do with opportunity, interview, audition situations are covered here as well. And so if you are one of the more ambitious of your sign, you can see how having these types of energies might feel difficult. It might give you some sense of trepidation. But the thing to remember is, whatever it is that has served its purpose and whatever it is that is not for you, that's where the universe is going to create space. Ultimately, you've got almost 13 months of really great career vibes, of career growth, of a sense that your career starts in one place and then there's all this opportunity and it takes you to another place, a higher place, a better place, a more authentic place, a place that resonates as right with you. But that's part of the journey. But in order to welcome in the new, you've got to be okay with trying certain things and learning from what doesn't work, but also accepting what it is that doesn't seem to be coming together, that maybe isn't for you. Delays are not denials, but all experiences help you to cultivate wisdom as to what forward looks like for you. And what's forward for another person, what's a great opportunity for one, can make another person absolutely miserable if it's not right for them. And so there is a need to trust a divine wisdom, a deeper understanding for where it is that it might take you. So pace yourself and be yourself. You know, I like to say that, but especially at a time like this, and especially if you're really trying to make something happen where it comes to your career, there is growth to be had, in some ways bigger than anything that you can anticipate. But if it is that you are not on the path you're supposed to be on, that could be a small little blip, right? It could be that you're pursuing things with one organization, but that's not it. There's another better organization. But it could be, real career stuff, like really big goals that you're pursuing that might not be for you as well. It's important to listen to your life and to trust what it is that feels like it's manifesting and what it is that isn't, as you navigate this time, as you move forward under this sky. Now, it is going to be this Jupiter that's doing interesting things. So let me go through them one at a time, okay? And let's talk about some dates here. So like I said, on the 9th of the month, Jupiter moves into the top of your sky. It is going to be on the 15th and 19th that first Saturn and then Neptune are going to connect with that Jupiter in conversations of tension. And this brings with it that sense that you're trying really hard to make something happen and you feel like you can't get what you want, or something you've really been wanting to happen it ends up being disappointing, or it ends up just feeling like your best efforts are washing everything away. These are some possible scenarios that can happen, especially around the middle of the month. Now, to further that, the sun is working at this point feverishly to catch up with that Jupiter. And it is going to be over the course of the 22nd and 23rd that the sun will first connect with Saturn and then connect with Neptune. On the 24th, the sun and Jupiter will meet in the sky. Now, this makes for the luckiest day of the year under normal circumstances, but a lot of that luck is going to feel like it just washes away. Like it just ends up being the luck that you didn't really want and you didn't know it until it showed up. And it feels like a luck that is limiting in some way. And then the following day, on the 25th, we have a new moon that is hand in hand in the mix with Sun and Jupiter and that new moon together. All three speaking in these tense conversations with Saturn and with Neptune. But by the time we get to that new moon, there is a saving grace. And that is the fact that we are going to have that triple conjunction at the top of your sky, speaking in harmony with Mars. And Mars is in the sign just before yours at this point. And what that means is wisdom and blessings, a sense of things changing, yes, but knowing in your soul, in your bones, that whatever's happening is right, that there are fortunate closures happening here, and that you have more to do in this lifetime. It is a strengthening of faith that has you continuing to take action. And it is a sense of knowing on a soul level that there's more possibility for you and for your life as you navigate forward from here. So there's a lot of possibility with this new moon energy, but yeah, a big signature of a month like this is all those Saturn-Neptune squares. They can feel limiting, they can feel disappointing, but whatever it is that leaves is what needs to leave so that something much better can come rushing in. And then you'll spend like over 11 months after this month is over having wonderful new possibilities feel like they're that much more accessible to you as a result of the space that might be created for you now. New moons bring with them new opportunity, and that new moon might bring with it new opportunity. But again, there might be something left to be desired with that. You will know if whatever's new and next, if it feels right for this moment or not. You'll feel it within. You want to trust that because that's how you grow that much stronger under these skies. Now, taking a bit of a step back now, right? Because I dived right into Jupiter and all the things that Jupiter's going to do and that new moon energy. Let's go back a little bit and look at the full moon of this month, which happens on the 11th of the month. And this is a full moon that takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with communication, conversation, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. They are highlighted at this time. And overall, this full moon is very encouraging. It is speaking in supreme harmony with Mars. Mars is in a part of the sky for you that has to do with friendships and group dynamics. This is about the party getting started, the party turning up, the party being on. That's what I'm seeing here under the light of this full moon. I mean, it is energizing, it's uplifting, and there's a real sense of happiness here as well. And so you do want to cherish this time if spontaneous moments to reconnect with other people. If you find yourself in the right place at the right time and it just feels like a gathering comes together, well, all of it could be positively uplifting for you now and going forward from here. This can represent one of those moments that feels encouraging, that feels supportive, and that feels as if by attending gatherings or being in the company of others, well, it expands a sense of possibility. It expands your mind and it expands a sense of understanding as well, especially in those random conversations you might have. Siblings, cousins, neighbors, these people might receive good news or blessings that create a lot of happiness all around, even if it does or doesn't have anything to do with you directly. The full moon happening in a part of the sky that has to do with documents, mail, snail mail, email, communications of all kinds. Well, that sense that the right information comes in at the right time, the right communication finds you, and it spurs you to excitement and action now. Where it comes to matters of love, on the 6th of the month, Venus will finally leave your opposite sign. It has been since the early part of this year. Late January, we began a larger Venus retrograde season. February is when we had Venus enter your opposite sign. And then we had Venus sort of moving back and forth between your opposite sign of partnerships, of love, of attraction, and also moving back and forth in a part of the sky that has to do with, what I call the proof is in the pudding. What is a person actually showing you? What's actually taking place? Be honest about the details, even when it's hard. Well, now here we are, 6 days in. It is going to be Venus that finally moves on. But just before Venus does, at the very beginning of the month, on the 1st of the month, Venus will connect with Chiron. And this makes for a moment of vulnerability and ultimately maybe even feeling exposed in some way, at the very least feeling honest with yourself about what you are really wanting, and especially in the context of love. But it is as we navigate further, especially once it is that Venus does change signs, well, that is when Venus moves into a part of the sky that has to do with intimacy, vulnerability, and really wanting to be known by another, feeling a stronger sense of connection and feeling as if you're able to be more deeply honest about what you want, trusting your authentic desire. Venus is, of course, your ruling planet. And what that means is it's about so much more than love for you. It's about where you find yourself. And it's about where more of your focus is, because that's where you are set to uncover that much more value and insight into whom it is that you really are. Your priorities shift as Venus changes signs, and in this case, moving into the part of the sky that has to do with intimacy, that's going to take on greater priority. For those of you open to meeting someone new, well, you're going to have a few weeks here where you will find yourself very likely moved towards particular people, feeling very drawn, maybe even a pull of fate towards certain people. Now, I got to say, mid-month, because it is days after Venus changes signs that Venus will square off with Pluto. I mean, that could be being pulled or drawn towards somebody where it feels like fate, yes, but it's also downright messy. You can see that it's complicated, and it's up to you to decide whether or not it's even worth pursuing. But for all that, you will get a chance to gain some valuable insights and more personal understandings into what you are really going for, what it is you really want. And as part of that, learning about yourself, well, it makes sure that you allow the universe that much more clarity so that the type of intimacy and connection you're really wanting can find its way to you. For those of you just starting to date someone, be mindful with this energy, because, sometimes I like to say that person that you are on a first or second or third or fourth date with, that person is not your therapist. There is something that happens when there's too much sharing, when there's oversharing, when there's really spilling your guts. I mean, it just makes you see another person very differently. Imagination is necessary for love to grow. And that doesn't mean that you don't tell somebody something that actually matters, but how you say a thing, when you say a thing, what it is that you are actually sharing, whether or not it needs to be shared. These require conscious choices, conscious decisions. And that might be part of what you are coming to understand at this time. Now, whether it's you that ends up sharing too much or whether it's them, it is as if you are learning more profoundly about each other now. And for some, there might be a game-changing moment smack dab in the middle of the month as Venus squares Pluto. That's going to show you the complexity, just seeing behind the curtain. And that could be a game changer that either has you seeing, okay, there's a complex person here, but you're that much more intrigued, you're that much more attached, or wow, there's a real messy person here and it repels you or repels them. These are some possible scenarios that can come up midweek. An all or nothing moment becomes possible as a result of what it is that one or both of you learn about each other. And that's not a bad thing, right? It's better, in a sense, to know certain things so that you decide whether or not it's worth moving forward. And for those of you in an established bond, the overwhelming majority is going to find this move of Venus brings you and your partner closer together. You feel that much more connected, that much more hopeful about what's ahead, and that much more entangled in the best possible sense. Venus moving into this part of the sky can sometimes be good for your partner's income, and that ends up benefiting your life. Maybe they're more generous with you in some way. But mid-month, we still have that square energy, right? We still have that Venus square Pluto, and that can be uncomfortable. Now, again, this just might be attention being paid on your partner's income that may or may not have anything to do with you directly at all. It could be, though, a certain messiness, a certain complicating factor that feels like it arises, mixed feelings, or rather intense feelings that arise on a given matter that might need to be addressed between one or both of you at this time. Now, where it is that relationships are good, whatever emotions emerge, you learn about each other through them, and it brings the two of you that much closer. But where it is you've had doubts as to whether or not you are in the right relationship for you, well, I do think Venus square Pluto, given the position of Venus, just might represent an all or nothing moment for you now. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say I love the energy of, well, let's say Jupiter under normal circumstances, that would be it. Right? Jupiter changing signs is a really big deal. Jupiter moving into the top of your sky can bring with it big blessings related to career, social standing, life purpose, and your connection to a higher, more loving vision for your life. It can bring improved relationships with bosses, people in authority, or you becoming a boss and you becoming a person of authority. And that's true for the most part, but it might not feel like that at first, because for those of you who might be on a path that is not the path that you are to be on as part of a higher, more loving vision for your life, it'll either feel like you're trying to make something happen and it just isn't working, or it's going to feel as if you're trying to align with something, but it's falling apart. Whatever happens, trust it. You do your best and you surrender the rest. Delays are not denials, but what is for you will have a flow. It'll have a way of coming together. And what is for you, well, those opportunities will be downright undeniable. They will glow and they will find a way of coming together for you in a way that feels right, in a way that feels filled with hope and genuine excitement. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership Rate over at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com or thefutureismagical.com. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.